cue from your, the point. Now, how this you mentioned of the overall explicit knowledge of organization, right? Then we are here the new concept. We are talking about digital transformation, where most of the organizations are looking into Industry 4.0. They're looking at one is digital transformation. The other aspect is the artificial intelligence, which industry is looking forward, right? Now, how would you connect knowledge management and digital transformation? I mean, fundamentally, if you have strong knowledge management philosophy in the organization, do you think digital transformation could become much more effective? What is the relationship between knowledge management and digital transformation, which the new wave of the whole industry 4.0? What is your take on this, or how do you see this?
Yeah, I'm sorry, but part of what you were asking cut out. I didn't get all of it. So just phrase the question for me. I heard the background, but I didn't quite get the question.
Okay. Yeah, please. So yeah, I was just, are you able to hear me now?
Yeah, fine.
Okay, great. Yeah, so my question is like
I'm recording on. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, it's recording on, yes. Now, we are talking about digital transformation as a major, industry or embracing digital transformation. And, now how do you see knowledge management and digital transformation? What is the relationship between both of these? And if you have stronger knowledge management in organization as a philosophy, do you think that digital transformation would be much more effective? Or what is your view?
Yeah, okay.
That's so, very important. Yeah.
Let me first by saying what traditionally has been considered knowledge management has really expanded over time to include records management and, for example, records management and a whole host of other things associated. If you remember the original description between information and experience, that V picture, it's actually encompassed a lot more. And so digital transformation, one could argue, is part of knowledge management. Another way you could argue it is that knowledge management is a subset of digital transformation. I think what's really important isn't so much how you characterize it, but more about what you're doing with it.
Okay.
And so if digital transformation includes improved search, it includes knowledge graphs, it includes machine learning. I think knowledge management as a subject, a broad encompassing subject, actually it's intertwined within all of it. Yeah. So if the goal is to improve the ability to find the knowledge that you need, simple example, when you need it from wherever you are, there's a couple of pieces to that. How do you access it? How do you get it at a reasonable speed? How do you get it securely? How do you search for content? And then fundamentally, the question you have to ask is, where does the content come from?
Indeed.
Is it just documents and artifacts? Or is the content that you're looking for videos, podcasts, anything associated with capturing what people know about what they do, characterizing it for reuse, and then setting it up in some accessible format that can be searched for, downloaded, and reused. In my mind, this is all part of digital transformation. So yeah, I would say it's part of knowledge management. Knowledge management is part of digital transformation.
Yeah, I think I really liked how you put it as in it's all intertwined. I mean, end of the day, knowledge is necessary based on the role and how you find, how you access, how do you view. You need a medium, whether it is digital or in physical form, and digital transformation is again a new route in this industry. So I really liked what you said. And now again, I want to take again one more step back. Again, I asked about the artificial intelligence and business. Uh, I mean, business automation and various things happening. One of the things generally what has happened is in terms of nowadays you have these chatbots and various other automations happening at the artificial intelligence and um, aspects of that. Now, how do you see knowledge management again as a part of? Don't you think this knowledge management in itself is a basic essential to build any artificial intelligence, whether the explicit knowledge, if it is not defined, that becomes your fundamental requirement for the artificial intelligence development also, right? Whether it is algorithms of development or logic. Um, so whatever you say, the root is based on the knowledge, experiences, and again, which has to be accrued over a period of time, and that's how you can build upon artificial intelligence. What is your view on artificial intelligence, and how do you see knowledge management going to further that field? How do you see that?
If I understand your question, I think it's very similar to, tell me if I'm wrong, it's very similar to the question you asked me about digital transformation. I mean, they are discrete discussion. They are discrete areas of expertise and focus and value. But again, if artificial intelligence, and I'm not a technical expert, but from my perspective, if artificial intelligence is enabling you to do things differently, more effectively, more efficiently, then the ability to, and one of the outcomes of that is the ability to find the knowledge that you need, or to create the knowledge that you need in areas where that knowledge did not exist before. Then again, I think it's not something where you can separate it into discrete boxes. That it's all part of the same personal and technical evolution. Personal in terms of AI for individuals, and then technical in terms of AI for larger organizations, and the evolution of AI and its ability to solve problems. Mm-hmm. I wouldn't quite go so far as, and I guess I would go so far as to say that it's the creation of additional knowledge in areas where it might not have existed before. I may have oversimplified it, but I think there's a relationship there. I really do, and I think a lot of people see it the same way.
Okay.
I'm not sure if I answered your question.
No, I think there are areas which we cannot really get into black and white exactly, but these are all emerging fields, and it's going to take its own time to evolve and get into complete form and shape. So I think we are in that direction. So that's fine. Now, other important question which I want to start. Is about the knowledge management standard. Again, I saw some of your articles.
I just pulled up a chart. I'm sorry, I wanted just to go back to that item on AI and transformation. Can I put up
sure, please.
Not a chart?
Please share.
Let me share this with you.
Sure.
Let me share this with you. And I think it'll help. Can you see this? Oops. Can you see that KM and digital transformation chart?
Yes, I see.
This is a presentation that I did at the KM federal Department of Defense and Federal KM Symposium in 2019. And this goes back to the original subject.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so when we talk about discussing digital transformation and technology supporting it, the discussion often ignores the source of the content.
Yes.
And the application of knowledge management concepts and practices as part of a strategy that must exist to create the content. So it's great to have this. If when AI starts creating content, I think we're on the right track, but it's got to come from someplace. Here's the information experience chart we talked about. And whoops. Here's the discussion baseline points that I talked about at that conference. You know, we talked about what knowledge management is. I think we all have a general pretty good understanding of it.
Yeah.
Ability to capture, adapt, transfer, use critical and relevant knowledge to continuously improve performance. Digital transformation, a work environment in which digital tools, information, applications, processes create a business or performance advantage and enhance customer and stakeholder value. And then technology that assists with the creation, identification, findability, access, reuse, transferability, and so on of an organization's knowledge. And so I put this up to reinforce the discussion we were having around the fact that they really all are part of the same dimension. They're all part of the same ball. They have different roles, and I just wanted to get this up and clarify it. I hope you find that useful.
No, thanks, Kaplan. I mean, thanks, Bill. I mean, it really makes a lot of sense at this point of time that we look knowledge management more holistically, and this slide definitely kind of gives impetus to that. So that's great. Now, if you're fine, if you're done with this, can we move to the knowledge management standard?
Sorry about that.
No, again, probably you might have to share your screen again. So now coming to the knowledge management standards, and which is my favorite topic again. One of the things which I noticed, and from my also, your company name is you have CSP, right? So concept, strategy, practice, and that model, if you can bring it up, it is very close to ISO 30401 model.
So the CSP, if I believe you said it right, it's about concept, knowledge management concepts, knowledge management strategy, and knowledge management practice.
Yes.
And I believe that, you know, if the company was founded on that concept, really evolving from that V chart that I talked about. So is your question around the KM standards and how I view them, or how the standards have, how what we're doing actually supports the standards?
Yeah, I think that's the point. It's actually more of a statement than a question. So I was just sharing that, you know, when I looked at the model, what you which is there in your website, and most of the elements are pretty much are part of your CSP model, which was I thought was really good, and probably I want to hear more from you in terms of with your journey in knowledge management before the standards and now with the standards. Do you see, I mean, what are the fundamental difference from what you used to see earlier and with the standard? How do you think standard can propagate knowledge management, make it much more visible? And yeah, I think we'll start with this couple of
the
questions,
answer
and then
is
we
yes
can
to
develop it.
everything you said. The answer is yes.
Yes, yes.
So
it is there. Yeah.
But your question about before, excuse me, before and after the standards. So let's say it like this: before the standards, the way I viewed knowledge management, the things that we've been talking about, they're still there. Yes. After the standards, they're still there.
Still there. Yes.
But I believe the knowledge management standard, which if you look back at the evolution, if you remember a while ago, the focus on total quality management, TQM,
Mm-hmm.
it actually had as part of it many, many tenets of what I talk about with respect to knowledge management, which was, you know, focusing on the process, for example. I'm going to pick out a very small example. You don't focus on the actual product that you're producing, you know, going back to the beginning. You focus on the actual processes used to create that product or whatever it is.
Mm-hmm.
And so you're not inspecting out the bad pieces.
Yeah.
You're fundamentally changing the process so that you reduce the error rate to as small as possible. And that's a lot about performing and learning. It's about running a process. It's about using the right kind of tools and techniques to learn from it, distill or make sense out of what you've learned, and then reinvest those changes into the process, in the service industry, into the practices. I think what the knowledge management standard has done is to actually take it and create a focus on knowledge management. I'm a very big supporter of the standard for several reasons.
Okay.
One being that it puts consistency and discipline, it begins to put consistency and discipline into a generally shared acceptance and understanding of what knowledge management is. And I expect that the standard over time will evolve to incorporate other changes in how people view knowledge management.
Sure.
It is not, in my mind, specifically a cookbook for how to do knowledge management.
Okay.
More, it's about the standards, the thresholds, the understanding the frameworks that are involved in actually delivering what we would call good knowledge management. And so I think over time, the standard is going to bring a knowledge management, the community together and the understanding, and it's going to focus it.
Okay.
This is particularly important because as disciplines, as subject matter areas evolve, like engineering, like accounting, like procurement and contracting, they all have bodies of knowledge for which people can become recognized and certified in the areas that they focus, the things that they do. There is no standardized body of knowledge for knowledge management. So there can be no real certification for knowledge management, even though people sell it. There really isn't any, which is a whole different subject. Yeah. But what it's going to do, from those two perspectives I just shared, is to actually create a recognized professional subject matter area, which has standards of expertise, standards of application. And I think it's probably one of the best things that's happened with knowledge management